I'm Riley Harvey for VCN. We're live with the Winter Series by the online events company. We are going to be undertaking the Paris-Vlo Bay circuit on a scratch race. It's 22 kilometers, 265 meters of elevation, and it's set to be a furious race. We've got the women's race with some live riders and some bots in there, and we've the men's race as well. It's looking to be exciting races, and we'll try and cover as best we can with both races. Try and bring you the action from both of them, and some commentary as we go along. So we're live with both races, just waiting for the start to come round now, and we are 1 minute 47 to go. We just showed some videos on the way in there. We have got coming up in the future the Super Cup, which is being supported by Stolen Goat, who are bringing a brand new kit to the game for the event. And looking forward to that event as we're building towards it with the races in the women's series. And we're looking forward to building up all of the racing really on IndieVelo. Also had some adverts there from Pillar. Pillar is one of our training partners, and they offer AI based training. So that's the fantastic thing about AI now, as opposed to standard training plans, is that they will shift and change as you need them to, as your circumstances change, so that you can basically carry on and doing your normal thing. And if you miss a training session, you have to phone your coach and speak to them. The AI will automatically update it for you, and yeah, just a more flexible way of working, and cuts out some of the work, I guess. But we would say always to work with a coach. So React, our training partner, they've an advert showing there, and they are fantastic. They work with Pillar, and they would advise you to work with a coach and perhaps an AI training platform as well, so that you can get the best of both worlds. Support of the coach and the benefit of the AI. Got both races underway at the moment here. Graham just been overtaken by Richard Blanchard in the men's race. Richard Blanchard going out into the lead with Richard Akers coming close behind. You can see that the group metrics has come up on the screen there. It's just slight separations between the groups there. Got a 2-second gap back to James Claxton and Graham K, as gap opens up slightly. Graham K there, I think it is. It's trying really hard to push back. Graham K that's still stuck out in the rear there. Jake is leading the group at the front at the moment. The men's race. Go to the ladies' race. Ladies' race currently on Leslie Wiggins at the moment, and we've got 50 riders in the race. Keep our eyes out for Laura Whittingham. It's on the ladies racing team. Richard Akers making a little bit of a break off on the front there. Men's race. So we're going to go to the ladies race. full screen. Controlling the ladies race for a few moments. And the Whittingham race. See Wendy Gallagher there. Worth noting as well that the React kit is now in game, so we can spot some of the React riders a little more easily now. As you see Wendy there sporting the React kit, the online events company, and Stolen Goat on the back there. The React kit's available in real life, provided by Stolen Goat. Interested in possessing that. Nice. Kit, let's fade from a dark blue to a bright blue. Wendy's pushing out 217 watts and a big group there, benefiting from draft. Draft is in the top right hand corner. The draft is near full there, the green bar in the top right hand corner. We also have the effect of wind in the IndieVelo world. So currently the riders are suffering from a 5 km/h headwind, and Wendy will be not only benefiting from the draft, but she'll be dodging most of that wind. She sits in. Jump forward there to Angela Glover. Angela Glover isolated her own there. I can see Caroline Reuter in the group behind as well. I'm going to drop back in a moment to Caroline Reuter. And Alison Yu is the winner at the moment. And they're not too far out in front. Alison Yu is claims to be about 45 seconds ahead of the peloton, but you can see the peloton in the distance there. Not that far away at all. Under sprint section flag. In the men's race, Richard Akers is leading by about 5 seconds. We'll come to those in a second. With Caroline Reuter here. I'm wearing the React kit, but it is in a white jersey. Opening a slight gap of 3 seconds apparently on the group behind, but currently it's 47 seconds. We have a split in the match here in the race. In this course there is a split. It's an enforced split. You don't get a choice over which one you go. Both courses have exactly the same distance and exactly the same elevation, but on some of the courses you have the elevation come a little bit earlier on in the course. So you on the high road, I think we are here. Oh no, we've taken the low road here. That's the high road in the background there. So as we come back around this section and we're hitting this in reverse, you should see the riders split differently to the opposite riders that take that road. Back together, you can see that's made a little bit of a difference in the grouping here. Caroline Reuter is solo in the lead with 3 seconds over the nearest challenger. Saw Serena Ace's name come up in the rider list there as well. We are going to go back in a moment and try and pick out all of the riders. Lots in the React team. Taking place tonight. Taking part tonight. Two riders coming up to Caroline Route here. We've seen Junker flying past those two. Through the Blackwell and Welsh. Dean Junker's still a little bit there. I'll be seeing Junker there. React Racing. Riders who aren't in the official React Racing top are trying to wear something similar. Teams spot them. All action happening in the men's race. Go over to that for a moment and check in with the riders. We're on a dark theme in the ladies' race. In IndieVelo, it does change the settings. Sometimes it can do it automatically and sometimes by choice. I've got it set to day, but it does seem to be coming to nighttime for me. So perhaps it's only if I create the event. Switch over to the men's race and we can see here that on the front of the event we've got James Claxton. That's Richard Akers, who's just at the back of the group now, enjoying a little bit of respite. You can see Julian Fussell there from Southborough District Wheelers. Eagle units animating slightly at the front. Ali Hadfield making the way up to Richard Blanchard, making the way up to Ali Hadfield and James Claxton. And let's just form the split now. Briefly, and all the riders coming back together. Green there was Richard Akers, bounces through the pack there, creates his own gap, goes firing off. See there the tail lights on the bikes, they're going yellowy coloured on these two riders at the back here. They're not going deep. We jump up to the front. To the front of this event and you can see these riders, they've gone yellow now. Richard Akers, it's really animating this race at the moment for the men. His tail light was green. The tail light indicates when it's sprint efforts for the riders. And those tail lights lit up green as Richard Howard through that pack and straight off the front. We are coming up to the climb here. Richard not a massive fan of the climbing, so perhaps wanted to split the pack up slightly and himself off the front of the group prior to the climb. Himself a little bit of breathing space. He's brought with him Graham Kay and James Claxton, who roll through very quickly. See the power in the middle of the screen at the top there for Richard Akers. He's putting out 177 watts at the moment, just eased back slightly as we're coming up to this climb. James Claxton through and past. Richard Akers now benefiting from full draft in the wheel of James Claxton. Got footage, 344, 326. James. Weird tail light there going briefly as he puts an effort. And just on the lower slopes here, we're at 6%. A little bit deceptive when you see it on the screen. It doesn't look quite as steep, but if you take the camera down to the sort of height that the riders are at, give a little bit more of an indication of the elevation in the road. We're coming to the King of the Mountains arch in the men's race. Gradient. There's a little bit of a lull as we go through this arch. Short, flat spell. And then it kicks up once again. Even descent at the moment here, minus 2%. We're in the studio at VCN, and if you have anything that you'd like to know about IndieVelo or anything you'd like to see on the screen, we are covering both events. Send through a chat, and all of your chat messages should come through to the same location, so I should get them from you. Just take a moment to mention that these events are helped be brought to you by our partners at YouPerform, and if you're watching the stream, there is a link in the description to enable you to get some discounts off the YouPerform products. They are collagen enhanced products, and collagen as you get a bit older is one of the things that you need a little bit more of in your body to help you recover. And I can relate myself how much it's helped with my, well, I haven't got much of it left, but my hair's been stronger, nails are stronger, and by the same respect you presume that if the bits you can see are getting stronger, the bits on the inside are getting stronger too. Richard Akers pushes onto the front here, continues up the climb. 10% section now. Once again, it's going to be a steep section and then go into a descent. Climb's somewhat broken up. Once this climb's done, we are on the business end of the descending and finishing this race. For 3, it's looking like the winner's going to come from this group. Julian Fussell, nearest rider, is 28 seconds back, with Ali Hadfield, Richard Blanchard around about 49 seconds back, and Peter McDermott 1 minute 10, a little bit further back there. Go back to the ladies' race. As they're undertaking the same climb. Looking at the pacing, we're probably going to be able to cover the men's race and finish, and then be able to get the ladies' race to cover their finish as well. The ladies' race here, we're with Yassine Junka of React Racing, who is in 7th group on the road. There's been some separation in the groups. New race leader Nina Devia front of the race, with Caroline Aruta in group. So I'll jump forward to Caroline Ruta and see how she's getting on. Lots of individual riders forming small groups. Caroline Reuter in Group 2, only 4 seconds behind the leaders. It looks like Caroline and that chase rider of Andrea Best are closing the gap to Nina De Via. And 22 watts here for Caroline Reuter. She's pushing on this climb. Coming up to this little lull section, small section of descent. For climbing once again. Some of you may be looking at the screen and seeing some streamers going through the sky and around the riders. Those are a visual indication for the riders of where the wind is and how it's flowing, so they can get an idea of whether it's benefiting them or hindering them. If a crosswind or a tailwind, the Caroline Reuter now using the wheel of the partner that we're in that last section of the climb with, fighting to get back on this descending section. 190 watts there, locking back onto the wheel, briefly benefiting from a draft and slingshotting through and attacking Nina De Via at the front of the race. Heart rate up at 173. Meanwhile, in the men's race, Richard Akers has just timed his attack to perfection and is separating himself from the group of James Claxton and Graham at the top of this climb. It's only a few meters. He will be onto that descent first. A massive mental advantage to get onto the descent and open that gap up rapidly. You go through the KOM arch, and now that gap at 5 seconds will start increasing. 6 seconds. Richard Akers winds the power back. 34 watts, just enjoying the descent. Gap not increasing massively in time. It's only at 6 seconds now, but you can see visually how much of a gap is opened up to those chase riders. And imagine mentally how much that'll be affecting them, seeing that rider, Richard Akers, make his way off down the road towards victory. Richard coming up to a tight turn here, which will be affecting his speed. And when you're riding an IndieVelo, the corners do affect your speed, so you need to ensure that you accelerate out of those corners. Make sure that you get yourself back up to speed as rapidly as possible. Up to terminal velocity, as you just saw there, Richard Akers entered that bend, his speed was slowed. You can see the rider's speed on the right hand side of the screen next to their name. When those numbers flash red, that's when they are being slowed by that auto braking. Richard briefly there putting in a big sprint to get his speed back up again. Time gap down to 4 seconds now between Richard Akers and James Claxton. Graham and James probably working together slightly, enjoying a bit of draft off each other and managing just to hold Richard to account, hold his distance. Coming to the bottom of the climb, they are pretty close there. Richard able to recover on the descent though, his heart rate's down at 132. He's probably rescued a few matches for this last 7.6 kilometers to the line. Got another sprint segment coming up now. Just drift back in the men's race now. Give everybody a little bit of camera time. Go back over to the ladies' race and try and find some of the ladies in the event now. As you can see, we've got Graham now separated from James Claxton slightly. 3 seconds from Richard Akers. 5 seconds back to James Claxton. James perhaps just suffering a little bit now. Heart rate's up at 180 there for James. A little bit further back, we've got Ali Hadfield and Julian Fussell working together as a little pair. Through a fair rate of knots there, 65 kilometers per hour. Fussell there in a very bright red and yellow mix of colours. Now, somewhat further back down the course, we've got Richard Blanchard. He's now 2 minutes and 13 seconds back on the leader. Still Richard Akers managing to hold off Graham. The last rider on the course at the moment is Peter McDermott. Third of the way down the descent, main descent of this course. We'll head back over to the ladies' race. See how Caroline Reuter is getting on there. It's the leader. Looking fantastic for Caroline Reuter. She's descended and is now with Nina De Vere, who was the leader previously and is challenging for the win on this course now. Caroline Reuter is going to sit in and enjoy some of the drafting benefit before we get to the final flat section to the finish line. Andrea Best is a bit back on 2 seconds on the riders. In the men's race, Graham has managed to catch Richard Akers. We'll come back to that coverage in a moment. And the front group there has come together with Caroline Reuter and Andrea Best, and Avia has decided to attack there once again. It's Andrea Best that's attacked on the front there. Caroline Reuter gapped slightly. De Vere's slightly gapped as well. Going up this final climb. Vere comes past Caroline Reuter, offers a wheel for a moment. Caroline Reuter not quite able to hold it as we're going up this climb. We're relying on this flat section, I think, to make the difference. Reuter, brake light there, changing from red to yellow, not quite into the green. More effort in. The representative against your FTP, just in case I didn't make that clear earlier on. Just going to take a moment to drift back in the women's race. See if we can spot any names that we note in the groups behind. We've got Sakura Williamson here. Names that I recognise there in that group. Liza Lee, isolated. Carter Hendricks. Laura Whittingham of React Racing there, just being distanced by Fran McClure. Fran McClure, you can see there, just the green light in the distance. Put in a big sprint effort there. Up this little hillock at the end of the big descent. Whittingham putting around 211 watts there, heart rate 167. Team Junker, she was in that group there, it's a few riders back. Team Junker has been battling away. It's now 2 minutes and 51 back from Caroline Reuter in that lead group. Now 200 watts though. Yeah, on that little hillock after the main descent. Serena Ace. Next group back from team. Now Jane Hicks there. Taylor. Lots of isolated riders again. Got Tony Gallagher there. Tony Gallagher who's hurrying away towards the front, just a bit further back in the groups now. Towards the end of the 60.2 kilometers per hour, 8.1k remaining. Group 16 on the road. Distance to the riders in front. Jim Madrano, Paul, we're near at the end of the race now, back of the group. Ryan Barton, Misty Richards and Diana Tivado. Check back in with the men's race. The men's race is coming near to the end now. Richard Akers at the front of the men's race. Richard Akers leading 8 seconds in front of Graham. Riat Racing 1.3 kilometers remaining. Six-second gap to Graham. Slight rise as we come back into the velodrome. Richard Akers now heading up towards the regions of 500 watts then briefly. So, hitting 33 kilometers per hour. Graham in second place there. 29. I think Graham's resigned himself to second place at the moment as Richard Akers comes up with 308 watts. So coming into the last section. That's the Flamme Rouge that we're just going through now. Gap opening to 10 seconds back to Graham. I think Graham really has given up on his options of winning this race. Akers into the velodrome. Now with only 700 meters remaining. Easy's back slightly. Comes through to take the checker flag and the win in the men's race. Graham Racing comes through. We have James Claxton. Through to take third place. Oh, Julian Fussell there coming through. Oh, that's James Claxton, sorry. Through. Oh, it's there, sorry, my bad. Not entirely sure what rider we're on there. Julian Fussell coming through. And that was one of the racers who's finished the event, was just doing some extra laps and sprinting, just confused me slightly. That's the ladies race now as we are coming towards the final section with the ladies. The top three over in the men's race. We'll carry on and bring both races in at the same time as we've got Caroline Rutter once again battling with Nina Davia. Caroline putting out 250 watts here. Nina Davia sprinting in front. Light incline as we're heading towards the velodrome. Tail like that on amber. Still a little bit more to give her, I think, for Caroline Rutter, as Nina Davia has opened up a gap of 5 seconds. Will she be able to hold it to the finish line? Caroline Rutter, 255 watts, 1.4 kilometers remaining. And cat and mouse between these two riders most of the event. It's Caroline Rutter, heart rate 177. She's on only one more hairpin to go before we're entering the velodrome. Nina Davia managing 31 kilometers per hour up in front. Gap opening up to 14 seconds, 16 seconds now. The men's race, Julian Fussel's just come across the line. Ali Hadfield chasing on behind. We're back to the men's race in a moment. Once we've seen Caroline Reuter across the line. 0.9 kilometers now. Ali Hadfield crosses the line. .7, 600 meters. Nina Devere across the line already. Caroline Reuter, 21 seconds behind, comes through in second place. Fantastic riding from Caroline Reuter there. Andrea Best coming through in third now. Take us to split screen and try and cover finishers in both races. Ali Hadfield comes through in the men's. Blanford coming through. Got Sophia Keller in the ladies race, just popping past Gonzalez. Blanchard there, just sprinting for the finish line. Pete McDermott still a little bit back on the course. Rhoda Williamson going through there. Liza Lee. Gonzalez. Battling at the line. Gonzalez goes off a rocket to the finish line there. Lara Hendricks coming through in 9th position. A little bit of confusion with the selection, as there are some riders still riding around the velodrome. Back and some riders that I know as we're doing with Fran McClure coming through the finish line. 100 meters to go. Douglas Sims, Summer Hendricks is just chasing on there. Miller Sims and Fran McClure over the line. Phelps, Laura Whittingham, 420 meters to go. Laura is battling with difficult to say at the moment. I think some of these riders on this section are back markers. We've got Summer Hendricks, Amelia Phillips, and Melinda Ortez coming through the line as Laura Whittingham blasts out. Big sprint to the finish line there. Ball coming through. We've got Peter McDermott in the men's race. 220 meters remaining. Seeing Juncker here with 5k. Peter McDermott coming up to the line now. Peter comes over the line. 42 minutes 38. You're seeing here battling with Florine Lambert and Adrienne Ross. sprinting for the finish line, shoulder to shoulder here with Adrian Ross. Draft meter building for Gassine here. Wonder if that's enough to help him slingshot through at the line. Gassine just beats him back in the position there. The men's race, we have got static riders now, so we're just going to switch back to full screen on the ladies race as we see more of the ladies coming through. Gassine Junker there, still going as one of the riders, just following them around and trying to drift back to Jane Hicks now. Coming up at 460 meters on the line. Is okay, through the line. We're keeping our eyes open for Wendy Gallagher and Serena Ace. We are Serena Ace now with 200 meters remaining. We're up on the finish line. It's sprint from Serena. 210 watts there as we come to the finish line for Serena Ace. Wendy Gallagher. Wendy Gallagher there. Maybe 1.3 kilometers remaining. Heart rate of 170. Nearest rider is 15 seconds behind. Well, we've got one more hairpin left to cover for Wendy Gallagher now before the entrance into the velodrome. The road is clear there, in front and behind Wendy Gallagher. Around the last hairpin, through the Flamme Rouge. Rain falling. We get closer to the velodrome. Moody skies, dark and grey in front. A rider that's just doing laps of the velodrome that's just gone past there. Wendy Gallagher comes through. Finished the race in around about 47 minutes and 39 seconds, I think. 47.41 for Wendy Gallagher there, coming across the line. Roy Barton. Finish line. 500 meters remaining. Barton over the line. Misty Richards battling with Alba here for 48th position. Alba goes through, Misty Richards follows, and then we have got Brianna Asvado coming through, and that brings through our final competitor the race tonight. So all that's left for me to say is a very big thank you to Stolen Goat for helping us work towards the culmination of the series with the Super Cup, and to Pillar for having training plans that are linked to all the online events company events. And also to REAC, our training partner. If you're interested in any training, then please drop in on their website and give Richard Akers, who was competing in the men's event tonight, a shout. And also, if you look in the description for the event, you'll see some codes for discounts at various suppliers. Hope you've had a great evening. We will catch you in a fortnight's time, if not before, with another stream for the Wednesday events. And have a great evening, guys.